Dane County Sheriff's Office, Lieutenant Hyman.
Hi, my name is John Lattimore. I was told to call the Sheriff's Office officer in charge,
Okay.
and that you would be on duty from 2:30 p.m. to 7 a.m.
Okay.
All right.
What can I help you with, sir?
Today I was driving for work, and I'm certain that a police officer, Dane County Sheriff's Officer, pulled me over illegally.
Okay.
It was on Progress Road and Femright Drive. It occurred at like 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. 1 p.m. The officer was upset that I yelled something out of my left side window, my driver's window. But I believe he was baiting that comment out of me, because he was well aware that I've been saying that, possibly very well aware that I've been saying that in response to any police officer making movements with their squad cars, with their body language, or gestures with their squad cars, gestures with their body language. I've been doing it for over 3 years. Anytime I see a police officer do any of those two things, I've responded with the words "go fuck yourself," because I know those forms, the things that they're doing, the gestures, are it's a form of harassment. It's either racist harassment or gay culture harassment. And I know someone just told me that you're probably thinking they're going to deny both of those things. But these gestures have values. These gestures have some significance. And it doesn't take much for me or anyone else who sees these things over and over again to get the idea of what they mean. So when I see a police officer drive really fast as soon as I approach them away from me, or if I see a police officer drive really fast and then stop really quickly, or if I see a police officer drive to the intersection slowly as I get to the intersection, if I see a police officer drive past me really fast, or raise the front of their squad car really fast, or make sure the front of their squad car is in your view, or you bring attention to themselves from you to them. So do something to grab your attention. I know that's a form of harassment. And I've been trying to tell on each officer, but I can't keep posting videos and telling every single second or every single time a police officer does some form of harassment. I just drive past. But this officer decided to bait me. He decided to wait until he knew he knew if he made any gestures, any movements with his squad car, with his body, that I would respond with the words, "go fuck yourself." So the officer did made a gesture, drove really quick as soon as I approached him, away from me, and then made a U-turn, rolled with his window rolled down, and I know he was just baiting. He was absolutely waiting for me to say the words "go fuck yourself," and I did.
Okay.
And he made another U-turn, and he followed me for 2 blocks. And I'm sure he was waiting for me to make a traffic violation, to have a reason to pull me over. But I didn't. And the officer pulled me over anyways. And then he asked me, why did you yell out the window? I asked him, why did you pull me over? He told me, because you were yelling out the window. And he then asked me to get out of the truck. He said, get out of the vehicle. I said, what am I in trouble for? Why did you pull me over? He didn't respond. The officer continued to tell me that to get out of the truck. And he opened my truck door. He opened the door. The door was unlocked. I closed the door. I closed the door back. And then he told me to give him my license. And I was struggling to do that. My license is in a wallet that's really hard to pull the license out because it's stuck under plastic. It's under a plastic thing that you have to stick 2 fingers in to get the license out. And the officer was not trying to wait. He was not trying to wait for me to do that. And while I was doing that, I was trying to ask my questions. Why did you pull me over? He refused to tell me. He had no way. He had absolutely no reason to pull me over, and he knew it, and he refused to tell me what the legal reason was that he pulled me over. And then he said, "I'm legally pulling you over. This is a legal traffic stop, and you have to give me your ID. And if you don't, I will drag you out of that truck and throw you in jail, and put you in jail." And because he threatened to hurt me, because it would be harmful, I think the way he described getting me out of the vehicle would be harmful. So, I didn't want to go to jail. So I gave him my license, even though I probably didn't have a legal right. I had a legal right not to, because the man didn't have a legal reason to pull me over. The man then said, he took my license. He went back to his car. I started thinking I should probably tell the people who are watching the video that I'm recording where I met this officer. And so I got out of the vehicle. The officer did tell me to get out of the vehicle 3 times. I don't know if he planned on arresting me as soon as I got out of the vehicle for whatever reason that he could possibly think of. But the traffic stop was illegal. He didn't have a right to pull me over, and he didn't give me a reason he pulled me over. So I believe the traffic stop was illegal.
Okay.
I also believe that if he did arrest me when I got out of the truck, that would also have been illegal. There was no danger to him or the public. Yeah.
Sir, can I get some information from you? I missed your first name. What's your first name?
My name is John.
Okay. Last name?
My last name is Lattimore.
How do you spell that?
Lattimore.
Okay. I'm going to ask you some questions about the traffic stop.
Okay. All right.
Which road did the traffic stop occur on?
Progress Road and Femright Drive.
Progress Road and Femright.
Yes.
Okay. And what was today? It happened.
Yes.
What time?
About 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
It happened between 11 and 1?
Yes, I don't know exactly what time the traffic stop occurred. I'm pretty sure it was 11 a.m.
Okay. Typically when deputies do traffic stops on people, they identify themselves. Do you recall what the deputy's name was?
He said his name was Shafer. I had to ask a few times before he told me.
Okay.
But I know that it was on his name tag. Actually, I read it. So the second time I asked him, I just read it on his name, on his chest.
Okay. Okay. So did he write you a citation?
No.
Okay. And you're calling to tell me this today because you feel that the traffic stop was unlawful?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. How would you like me to handle this? Would you like me to talk to Deputy Shafer and educate him on how he's supposed to do traffic stops, or would you like something more done with this?
I don't know how you deal. I don't know. I'm just telling you what happened. I really don't know how you deal with it. I think it was wrong, and I think it could have been really bad. I think he tried to get me to fight legally, say some legal stuff and stick to it. Like I knew the law better than well enough to not listen to what he was telling me to do. I think that's what he was trying to get me to do. Because he violated 3 civil rights in 3 seconds. I think so. I don't know how many he did, but the traffic stop I knew was illegal unless he told me. Not answering my questions was another bad sign that this officer was doing something he wasn't supposed to do. And then putting me in the squad car because he thought I was a threat. He could have just told me to get back in the vehicle with his loudspeaker. I'm a small dude. I was in work clothes. I had a camera in my right hand. there is zero possibility that a big, strong, like the officer looks seasoned, that he could feel threatened by me whatsoever. I'm pretty smart. When I speak, I don't slur. I don't talk with like I'm from the ghetto, or not the ghetto, but like I'm uneducated or something. So when I spoke to him, he knew that I'm a kid that grew up in Madison, that probably wasn't going to be a danger to him or anyone else. But the both officers the officer arrested me, and then he squeezed the handcuffs around my wrists.
So you were, I'm sorry, I missed this part. So you were taken into custody and arrested by Deputy Shafer?
Yes.
Okay, what were you arrested for, John?
He told me, because I got out of the car with a camera, he said, I'm going to arrest you. He took the camera out of my hand. He said, I'm a threat. I don't know what you're doing, and I feel like you're a threat, so I'm detaining you because I feel threatened by you. Also, you are not going to be YouTube famous. I'm not going to let you be YouTube famous. And he took the camera out of my hand, and I believe at that very moment, he deleted the footage, or he waited until he got into his squad car to delete the footage.
How did this contact with Deputy Shafer end? Were you permitted to leave, or the handcuffs taken off of you, or you brought to the Dane County Jail?
So I was put in the back of their squad car for 10 minutes. A sergeant, another police officer showed up. So there were 3 police officers. He showed up for 2 minutes. He left. I believe it was a sergeant that showed up. I don't know who it was. He left. And after 10 minutes, they let me out of the squad car. I told them that the handcuffs had cut off the circulation to my hands, and I felt blood rushing down the inside of my left hand, like from the wrist to the pinky, from my wrist to my pinky, and then I touched my pinky, and it was numb. It was numb to the touch, I had no feeling. And I recorded the indents of the handcuffs around my wrists, and I believe Deputy Shafer did this out of hatred. I think he had it was more than someone yelling out the window that made him as mad as he was. It was not the words I spoke, because he has to have experience on movies or television or by living, that people can yell, express themselves out of a car window to you or anyone else, especially because you're a police officer. So you should be used to hearing bad things or hearing good things. You should be used to both. So I believe nothing I said made him as mad as he was and gave him the right to illegally pull me over. I don't think he had that right. And
hey, John, I need some more information from you.
Okay.
What's a good phone number for you to be reached at?
608-733-8446.
8446. And your middle initial, John?
M.
And your birthday?
012191.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to forward your information I'm going to try to figure out who the sergeant was that was at the traffic stop with you.
Okay.
And I'm going to forward your information to that individual, and then they can contact you at the 733-8446. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. And then they can follow up with you on that. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Thanks, John.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.